Yes, sir. So I'll start.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present Mosaic web browser, which is one of the earlier web browsers in 1990s. So let's begin with the overview. Mosaic was developed at the National Center for Supercomputing Applications at the University of Illinois, beginning in late 1992. NCSA released the browser in 1993 and officially discontinued development on January 7, 1997. It was the first browser to display images in line with text instead of displaying images in a separate window. Earlier browsers allowed the viewing of images, but only as a separate files. But Mosaic made it possible to view both text as well as images on a same web page, and hence making it the world's first most popular browser. Coming to the history. So next,
One second. Yes.
coming to the history, Mark Andreessen and Eric Bina. These were the two programmers who developed NCSA Mosaic for Unix X Windows system and named it as X Mosaic, which was the first version of the Mosaic web browser. The first alpha release, numbered 0.1a, was published in June 1993, and the beta release, numbered 0.6b, was followed quickly, therefore, in September 1993. NCSA Mosaic for Unix version 2.0 was released on November 10, 1993. Then the NCSA team ported the software from the Unix Windows system to the Microsoft Windows and released it on November 11, 1993. From 1994 to 1997, the further development of the web browser was given to the National Science Foundation. The National Science Foundation is an independent agency of the United States government that supports fundamental research and education. Next, we have the home page of the Mosaic web browser. This is how it looks. In this browser, the links were easy to recognize as they were in blue color and underlined. And the user could retrieve data or document by entering URL. So the first part of the URL describes the access method, and the last part of the URL describes the location of a desired document. Next, system requirements include minimum of an 80386 based machine with 4 megabyte RAM working in enhanced mode. Here, 80386 is a 32-bit processor which has the ability to carry out 32-bit operations in one cycle. And for the Mosaic to run, we require one of the following Windows operating system: Windows 95, Windows NT 3.5X, Windows for Workgroups 3.1X, and Windows V 3.1X. To access internet, we need to install 1.1 compliant winsock.dll and obtain an internet service provider. Here, winsock.dll is a file that defines how Windows software should access network services. Coming to the features, the first feature states that it has a consistent mouse-controlled graphical interface and can display electronic data in variety of fonts and styles. Here, mouse-driven graphical interface allows the users to navigate easily, and variety of fonts and styles made the browser appear in more attractive way. Another innovative feature was the new form of hyperlink. In earlier browsers, hypertext links had reference numbers that the user typed to navigate to the desired document. But the new form of the hyperlink allowed the users to click on the link to retrieve data or a desired document directly. Mosaic users can traverse the hypermedia links and store them in hotlist for a quick reference. If a user wanted to retrieve a desired document on regular basis, he can just store them in hotlist, so that next time if he wants to access it, he can just directly click on the hotlist, so that it can save his time rather than searching it for rather than searching it all over again. So it was used for a quick reference. We can say it is similar to the favorite option that we make use nowadays. Mosaic was also the first browser to allow things such as bookmarks, icons, video and audio clips, forms and history files, as all of which had never been seen before with the browser. Mostly the earlier browsers were in the form of text. It was also a client for earlier internet protocols such as file transfer protocol, network news transfer protocol, and Gopher. Here, FTP, NNTP, and Gopher are the servers who provided services to the Mosaic, and it was named for the support for multiple internet protocols. Next, we have the market share of different web browsers in 1994. The market share of Mosaic was 97.11%, although other browsers existed during this period, such as Lynx, Cello, Mac, www, and others, but did not have the same effect as Mosaic on public use of the internet due to its features, hence making it the world's first popular web browser. Next, starting in 1995, Mosaic lost market share to Netscape Navigator and only had a tiny fraction of users left by 1997 when the project was discontinued. Today, we make use of latest web browsers such as Chrome, Safari, and Edge, etc. to make surfing easier with latest features. But like every technological innovation, someone had to be the first to not only develop something, but also demonstrate that it was a viable product. So for the web browsers, Mosaic was the first web browser to bring the change in the internet world. So we can say that Mosaic has transformed our world. So this is all I had to say. Thank you.
Yes. Very good presentation, Pratika. A round of applause for Pratika. It's good to probably students, you might have seen when this presentation was given. This is one of the web browser which was, I can say it is a primitive type of a web browser, which during that time it was having a lot of new features. Okay, let me just quickly go back to previous slide here. See, look at the market share of this Mosaic. That is 97.11% of the in that particular market share, right? So during that time, the main features of this Mosaic was the embedding the CSS into the HTMLs, making use of those different style sheets and presenting it to the users. Before that, the web browsers were not that much user friendly, but this particular Mosaic was very user friendly. Lot of new features came in, as nowadays, which we may feel like, okay, these are mandatory to a particular web browser to have. But during that time, it gave a platform such as it became as a standard. Basically, it became as a standard, and based upon that, other browsers or other companies started looking into those particular features and then tried to develop their own web browsers. Okay. Later, actually, I think Netscape purchased this particular web browser, Mosaic web browser, and there were certain legal issues with respect to Microsoft and the Mosaic, as well as the Netscape Navigator. See, here you can find, right, Netscape Navigator. Netscape Navigator is again a type of a web browser, basically. Okay, the Netscape Corporation purchased the Mosaic, and then later there were some legal issues with Microsoft, and they have to suspend this particular web browser also. Netscape was still available, I think, in 2007 also. Okay, I have used this particular Netscape Navigator when I started my career with IT, and during that time, Netscape was still available. During that time, only IE was most popular, and then the Netscape. So these two I used to use most of the time. But later, the evolution of other net browsers started, and then this Netscape also discontinued. Nowadays, we don't find this Netscape and all other navigator, because the last supported Windows operating system for Netscape was Windows XP. Windows 7 onwards, the Windows did not give a permission to install Netscape Navigator on them, and it was then later discontinued. But during that time, it was one of the great web browser, what that particular time frame it had. Okay, good Pratika, you have taken up this Mosaic. You can just see how the evolution have happened in the last couple of decades related to the technology and all. Okay. Now, who will present next, students?
Sir, I will go next.
Aniket. Okay, now Aniket can start his presentation.
Sir, am I visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Okay, good morning, sir, and everyone. I'm giving a presentation on Microsoft Edge. Now, let me begin with stating some obvious facts. Like we all know that Chrome is the best is out there, and because it gives us so many features. But throughout this presentation, we all will see how the Microsoft has developed its own browser and has overcome the flaws to give Chrome a run for their money. Okay, let me begin. But before we get into that, let me see how and where Microsoft was developed. So Microsoft Edge was developed in 2015. But when Microsoft Edge was first developed in 2015, they had built it upon their own browser engine, which was called the Edge HTML and their Chakra JavaScript engine. But what is exactly a browser engine? Let me first tell you that browser engine is something known as a core software component of every web browser, which translates the HTML data into the interactive visual representation. So it is the important most part of any web browser. So now in 2014, 15, 16, they decided that they need to up their game, and to compete with other web browsers out there, they need to make some big upgrades. So they decided to change their browser engine and to build a Chromium based browser, which released in the market in June 2020 and is still running. Now these are some of the versions that are present, and as we can see they are regularly updated. So there it is bug free and a secure experience you will have with Microsoft Edge. Now let's see the features of the Microsoft Edge. Hello, am I audible?
Now you are audible.
So first I wasn't audible.
No,
when did it stop?
No, you were audible, and just a few seconds your voice was cracking. Now it is all fine.
Okay, sir. So now we'll look at the features of Microsoft Web. So as we can see, Microsoft, the important thing about any web browser is the interface, like how it can well interact with the users and how it is. So as you can see, Microsoft Edge has the simplest interface, and it is cool looking. So here are some known features like the in private window or the incognito mode, favorite, downloads, apps, extensions. So we'll see some unique features about the Microsoft Edge. Now, like you can see here, we have something known as read aloud mode. So what it does, it will read anything on your screen aloud. So it is more efficient for you to use this feature. And there is one known as math solver, which can solve any math problem you have on your screen. Like you can, I won't go more into that, but yeah, you can check it out later. And there is something known as immersive reader. Let me just show you that. I found it very interesting. So here is, as you can see, it is a copy of Microsoft Wikipedia page. So they have given us a ton of options like read aloud mode. It will read everything there is on the page, and there is something known as text reference, which we can change the text size to small, medium, and everything. Then there is something known as text spacing. It will make your page look a bit like notebooks, how the books are. So it gives you the feel of reading a book. And there is something called as grammar tools, which you can, when I click this option, it will highlight all the nouns with with the purple color. Okay. As you can see, it has changed the color of all the nouns to purple, and now it will change all the verbs to red. So it is a very interesting feature which can be used by someone. And here we have line focus, by which we can focus on any line we want. Like they have given 1 line focus or 3 lines. Like at night time, if you are reading something, it is easier for you. It won't affect your eyes that much. And here's the basic translate, which can translate the whole page into n number of languages, which they have provided in Microsoft Edge. So another feature is the Microsoft Office. So as you all know, we use Microsoft Office overall for everything, like PowerPoint, Word, or OneDrive. In OneDrive, you can store your files, Outlook, so Skype. So there are some bunch of Microsoft which are inbuilt in this, which they provide as a software as a service method. And yeah, that's the feature. And everything else we have, like the news and all. Now let me go back to now. Let's see what are the performance of Microsoft Edge. So let's move on to see how the performance of the browser has been throughout the history in brief. In July 2015, when Edge was first released, its benchmark score was very low compared to the other browsers. Now, what is a benchmark? A benchmark is a standard or a point of reference against which the things are compared. So it is a situation or a test through which any browser or any software goes through. So in 2015, its score was relatively very low compared to other browsers. But as you can see, after just 1 year, it grew enormously. Like from 377, it went up to 460. Now we will see the power efficiency. In June 2016, Microsoft published a benchmark result to prove superior power efficiency in Edge in comparison to all other web browsers. Now next we will see the graphical representation of how Microsoft Edge has been throughout how it has evolved and how it is evolving still now. So as you can see, this is Octane. Octane is used for JavaScript engine performance, a benchmark test. Jetstream benchmark, which is done for web HTML and code running and executing. So here we can see it is neck to neck with Firefox. It was the first before their release in 2015, they had released a beta version and had a benchmark test. So you can see before releasing only they were neck to neck with Firefox. Then after 1 year, when their first 2016, when the first benchmark test was done, it was higher compared to any other browser. So this is for web code running and executing test. And as you can see, it is recently in January 2020, motion mark test was done, which was done for testing graphics. So as you can see, it is head to head with Google Chrome here. And these are some tests done recently, like in 2021. You can see it is a bit higher or neck to neck with Microsoft Chrome, which is best out there. So I can say it is head to head with Chrome. So it is performing very well. And in some tests, it has been better than Chrome, like here, which is a full time window playback. Like it consumes very less power compared to any other browser out there. And this is Microsoft Edge. Here the rules are the lower the better. So as you can see, it consumes less RAM and gives you the most experience out of it. So last but not least, I would like to say that as my friend Chetan mentioned that Chrome is used by most people out there, but that doesn't mean that Microsoft Edge is anywhere less than Chrome, because as we know, many people use Swift but Lamborghini is used by little people. That doesn't mean Lamborghini is not a good car. Thank you, sir.
Good presentation, Aniket. Yeah, good presentation.
Thank you, sir.
You covered pretty much some outstanding features of Edge.
Thank you.
Now, yeah, a round of applause for Aniket as well. Okay. Now, who is going to present next?
Sammi, Karuna.
Karuna. Yes, Karuna, you can share your screen.
Okay, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, Karuna.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be explaining about Internet Explorer. Coming to its overview, Internet Explorer, commonly abbreviated as IE, is a series of a graphical web browser which is developed by Microsoft in the year 1995. IE was one of the most widely used web browser, attaining a peak of 95% usage share by 2003. Microsoft used bundling to win the first browser war against Netscape, which was dominant browser in the 1990s. Estimates for Internet Explorer's market share in 2021 are about 0.62% across all the platforms. Coming to its performance, standard support. It supports HTML 4.01, HTML5, CSS level 1, 2, and 3, XML 1.0, and DOM level 1. CSS means it's a cascading style sheets. Is a style sheet language used for describing a presentation of a document written in markup language. DOM is the document object model, is a cross-platform and language independent interface that treats XML or HTML document as a tree structure. Non-standard extensions. Internet Explorer introduced many of the standard including HTML, CSS, and DOM. Usability and accessibility. Internet Explorer is a user interface for FTP, that is a file transfer protocol with operations similar to Windows Explorer. Pop-up blocking and tab browsing were added respectively in the IE6 and IE7. Let me tell you what is pop-up blocking. It is a web development and design technologies allow an author to associate any item on a pop-up with any action, including with a cancel or innocent looking button, because of bad experiences and apprehensive possible damage that may cause some users do not to click or interact with any item inside a pop-up windows. Microsoft released Windows XP SP2, which added pop-up blocking to Internet IE in 2004. Some tab browsing. Let me tell you what is tab browsing. It is a graphical control element that allows multiple documents or panels to be continued with a single window using tabs as a navigational widget for switching between sets of documents. The fourth one is cache. It is a content in temporary internet files folders to allow quicker access to previously visited page. It keeps a track of visited content, web feeds, visited URLs, cookies, and etc. Group policy. It uses group policy is a feature of Microsoft Windows NT family of operating system that controls working environment of users, accounts, and computer accounts. When you configure internet on client computers using group policy, you can customize advanced settings and some of the temporary internet file settings that are not available by default. Security. It provides smart screen filters. Internet Explorer 8 uses smart screen filter to detect and block malicious content and websites. When the smart screen detects malicious content, the address bar and page will become highlighted in red, and you will receive a warning message reporting that this site is unsafe. When it identifies that there is a malicious content, its address bar and page will be highlighted with the color red. You will receive a warning message. It detects when malicious downloads have been reported unsafe. Controlling cookies. Many websites and small text files to your computer called cookies. Cookies can help your computer communicate with a web server, but they can also be used to track your browsing activity. It means when you visit a website, the website sends the cookie to your computer. Your computer stores it in a file located inside your web browser. It helps to keep track of your visited and activity. This isn't always a bad thing. For example, many online retailers use cookies to keep track of items in user shopping cart as they explore the site. Without cookies, your shopping cart would reset to 0 every time you click a new link on site. That would make it difficult to buy anything online. Domain highlighting is a simple feature that allows you to check authenticity of an address for safe browsing. Deceptive websites can try to trick you with the misleading URL addresses. It is easy to recognize a site's true identity. It allows safe browsing. Some websites can make you mislead URL addresses. So, Internet Explorer has websites domain highlighted in black to make easy to recognize true identity. Coming to its security status, if you are making online transactions, you must make sure you are using a site with a secure connection. The lock icon will appear in the address bar to indicate to site security status. Here, lock icon will appear just to make sure that site security. There are 4 colors which I would like to mention here. That is red, yellow, white, and green. Red indicates invalid certificate. Yellow indicates certificate that cannot be verified. White is normal validation. Green is for certificate has been extended validation. System requirements. It requires Windows of 8.1 or Windows RT 8.1 PC. Processor is of 1 gigabits or faster with the support of PAE, NX, and SEC2. Let me tell you what is PAE. That is physical address extension. NX is for normal to X-axis. And SSE2 is a streaming SMID extensions 2 is one of the Intel SMID, the single instructions but multiple data. RAM is of 1 gigabyte or 2 GB. Hard disk space required is 16 GB or 20 GB. Graphics card of Microsoft DirectX 9 graphics device with WDM driver, which is of Windows Display Driver model. Internet access. It needs ISP fees might apply. Here, internet service provider fees is required. Here I'm displaying a graph which is according to 2020. All you can see. Have a look. As you all know, Internet Explorer removal. On June 1, 2020, the Internet Archive removed latest version of the Internet Explorer from its list of supported browsers. Since November 30, 2020, the web version of Microsoft Teams can no longer be accessed using Internet Explorer, that is 11. The remaining Microsoft 365 application will drop support for IE11 on August 17, 2021. The browser itself will continue to be supported for the life cycle of the Windows version on which it is installed until June 15, that is 2022. Thank you. So I'm done.